Welcome to the Spoonfed Podcast.
Hello.
It's been a couple weeks, and boy, do we have a lot to talk about.
Boy.
Well, let's just start off with Jason is dripping with some Lightbox swag here. Look at this.
I like it.
Am I holding it right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The hat we got to work on a little bit, right? The setup on the hat, but
But the shirt.
But the new logo is looking
pretty
fresh.
Clean, pretty clean.
Yeah.
So we had a logo that we had for a long time, and I loved it. It was like a sun coming out of an ice cream cone. It was really whimsical, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But it was not. Let's just say Jason wouldn't wear it on a hat.
Yeah. We had the logo of our logo. There it is.
You got it before I did. I'm like, I don't see where this is going. But I could not love the new logo more. So we had to.
Did y'all design it, or did you get someone work
We
it out?
had a friend, our friends who are in this with us, they had a friend and was like, hey, let's check out, some new concepts. So
And they told their friend.
Yeah.
And their friend told their other friend who actually knows a guy.
I think that's how entrepreneurship works.
isn't that how it works?
So many
That's the
friends.
business of
So many
friends.
friends,
Yeah. So really happy with it. It's nice to see it come to life.
For sure.
And so, okay, so we have some news here. All right. And so we're going to talk a little bit about Lightbox, where we are with that. The last episode, we had our good friend Lucia on. And this is nice because it kind of brings it all full circle, because we have our first official Lightbox event this weekend.
That's awesome.
And
We kind of said that about the other one, but this one's more.
that's true.
More official
We have
order.
more. This is like the first of first.
Yeah. I mean, the last one was for the friends. That
It's a soft
are with-
launch,
yes, yeah.
right? It wasn't a Lightbox event.
Okay.
That one was more of just like, okay, can we just pull off an ice cream cart and
Right.
this is our first public display of ice cream, I guess.
Right.
This one is officially Lightbox, and it is for someone who does social media, the client. And so there's a lot of exposure attached to it. And so we had to get ourselves like kind of buttoned up. So the Instagram, the logo, the look and the feel, and then lastly, the ice cream.
Last part of the brand is the
Actually, what you do. Yeah.
It feels like that.
It really does, don't you think?
Yeah.
So anyway, so we just literally like in the last couple hours got the machine delivered
Okay.
for the event, because soft serve is different than regular ice cream and just all that stuff. So that is what we will be spending the next 48 hours working on, is making sure that the ice cream is up to par. But
That's awesome.
Lucia was the connection to this event. So shout out Lucia, Twisted for Sugar, Nashville.
Nice.
So also with that, in the past couple weeks, what is our big announcement that we have, Jason?
You guys having another baby?
Sort of.
I hope not. Is it? Wait, do I know what it is? Is it a baby?
Hello?
No. Okay. Is it the truck?
Yes.
Truck. Hey, by the way, suspense. Hold on.
Yeah.
We have an announcement. We do. Yeah. I guess you'll never guess what it is.
Okay.
Baby.
No, baby. It's a truck. It's a baby truck. It is. It is a baby.
It is a baby truck.
I saw
It is a baby
pictures.
truck.
It looks cute.
It is cute. It is cute.
Yeah.
No, it's a 60. It's a classic, right?
Yeah.
So it's a 67.
Yep.
It's like one of the original like step van type deals. It's a little square, and it's really square actually.
Yeah.
It's the last year they made the stub nose, so it has a very flat front. So I know you're probably not following me on that.
Yeah.
But anyways,
cool.
You look at it from afar. It is
It's
a
like
box.
an old milk truck looking thing.
Yep.
And it really wasn't what we were. I think it's exactly what Jason was picturing. But for me, I'm just thinking of an ice cream van or whatever. And this is really kind of come full circle. And Jason, this is like exactly what he was expecting.
I think
and hoping
most
for.
people, when we say ice cream, you think of like the van that used to be like a family van that they put a bunch of stickers on the side, and they put some sound on the outside of it, and they painted it like pink and purple.
Yeah.
And now it like creeps around your neighborhood.
Yeah.
So most people think of that, like you're really going to do that. And so like when we got the ice cream van, I mean, I wanted it to kind of turn heads. And this this checks that box.
In the right ways.
In the right ways.
Not in the call the police
I
way.
will.
Yes.
Well, I'll also say I took the kids to the splash pad, and they know we have an ice cream truck. They know that this whole thing is coming along, and they're really excited. But they heard the music, the ice cream truck music, and they come apart. I mean, the ice cream truck, so, and you hear it before you see it, right? And it's a big open public area, and I'm ticked.
Yeah.
I'm like, seriously, I'm just trying to have like a park day.
Right.
I don't want to have to go get my money. I was annoyed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is a business we're fixing to go into.
Right.
Parents are going to
You're
really
about to be
hate
those
us.
people.
They pull up, and they've got like the $6 Sonic on a stick, Tweety Bird ice creams. And I was annoyed. I was like, man,
We won't have any of that.
we won't have any of that, of course. But still, it was like the music just started this
Jay-Z.
whole.
Yeah, we'll have a hip hop version of the ice cream music.
Oh, man. Okay. So it was really funny the way that the truck worked out, though. I kind of want to tell the story, too, because, there's no other way to explain it other than this was meant for us. This was the truck for us. Sure. And so we were looking at trucks in Miami. I think you had sort of narrowed it down to maybe 3 or whatever.
I mean, this goes back into what we're doing is like, we didn't know. Again, how do you look for a truck? Do you go to like the car lot that's got ice cream trucks,
right,
on the car lot?
Yeah.
They're not there. Actually, there are trucks. They're work trucks. And you're like, well, do we convert one ourselves, or do we buy one already converted? Do we buy a retired one? Like, how many miles is too many miles? Like all these questions flow through. So, a lot of research. Google's your great friend.
Yeah.
And it is mine.
There are brokers, though, that we actually had partnered with or looked
through websites.
through. Yeah. It's like
usedfoodtrucks.com
or something.
Yeah.
Something
Interesting.
very generic.
Yeah.
But they do have the challenge was, okay, you're buying your business. There is no plan B.
Right.
If you get this and it doesn't work, or the miles are too high,
Right.
or the machines or whatever, and they go through their
Or you
checks
spent
and
your
stuff,
whole budget just
and
on
you
the
spend
truck.
all your money on the truck, and then you have to do repairs or you have to do this. So anyway, there was a lot of back and forth, and you finally had narrowed it down to one in Miami, right?
Yeah, it was also all across the board. I was looking everywhere. I really wanted this vintage European truck, like over in Europe and in Asia and other areas.
Yeah.
There's these Citroen vans, is what they're called. I really sounded like one of those sommelier people. This one is from Bordeaux, France.
Yeah. Bless you.
Citroen. Yeah. No, it's called a Citroen. I would say Citroen van, but I think it's Citroen.
Anyways,
whatever.
yes.
Okay, anyways,
We're getting there.
look it up. Really
as a
cool
truck.
van.
Okay.
Very hard to find here in the States.
Yeah.
But I found one, and I was connected with a guy. The guy also sells DeLoreans.
That's cool.
So yeah, so the guy he's these rare cars, and so he was gonna like hook me up with it, and this other guy I came up on my Instagram
Well, hold
feed.
on. Okay, yeah. All right. Okay.
And I was like, man, this thing's really cool. And so I kind of click on it, and then all of a sudden I was like, wait, Franklin, Tennessee? I was like, that's right down the road. I can go look at it. And so like it all worked out. It all just fell right into place.
So it did, but it was really cool because, Jason was messaging this guy, and again, he doesn't even follow this guy. Not even sure how it, ended up in his feed, that it, this truck was for sale, and tons of messages or tons of comments on the post.
Yeah.
And so of course Jason's like DMing the guy, and he's like, well, my wife's in labor. And so it was a whole thing.
Yeah.
And
Just casually threw that in there.
yeah, because the timing, right?
Yeah.
Because there's so many people wanting to do it, and then his wife's in labor, and we're like, we got to really move on this, and then you went to work or on Wednesday or on like a random day and was like, I'm going to see that truck, and then just pulled the trigger that day. So it was really cool. But that guy I think we should have him on the podcast because he's a cool, got a couple different, kind of businesses that he's got going, but he also, which is, with a nice unique twist, is his wife has an ice cream company.
Oh, snap.
In California.
Okay.
But
So yeah, they do goat milk ice cream,
Ooh.
which is a big thing in California.
So I grew up with goats, and we made goat milk ice cream all the time.
stop it.
My mom did.
Wow.
Really?
Do you like it?
It's pretty goaty. So Yeah.
I'm not a fan of goat cheese.
Yeah.
I can't.
It totes my goat.
Yeah.
Yeah, just wait for that one.
It's such a weirdo.
I got it.
So, okay, that's very interesting. So she does have this very niche ice cream thing.
Yeah.
But they live here now, so we're like, maybe we should just be friends.
So this
you
was
know?
actually another. I mean, we'll kind of unpack some of this here, like realistically. But I mean, she. What was I going with that? Oh, this was another reason why we bought the truck. I met the guy after I saw the truck. Then I met the guy. You hear his story. You hear like he's not selling it to me. He's like just through his charisma, just through who he is, that's selling it to me.
Right.
Like, because he's just a fun, energetic guy. He's very passionate about classic cars. He helped start like Tap Truck. If you ever heard of Tap Truck, like this, all the weddings and stuff, you can, all these vintage trucks. So he helped start that. He helped kind of create the patent. I don't know the Harvard to do it. So like if you wanted to buy an old truck, he'll kind of show you how to do it, then how to install the taps. And so he kind of would sell you those rights essentially to do that. And then he got into other things. So he was very passionate about it, very passionate about like ice cream and just getting started and just all these things. And so like he was a big component of selling me this truck.
Yeah.
Without selling me the truck.
Right.
Yeah, he was the right person to kind of see our vision for it, I think, too. And I think he came with a relationship, you know, in
Connections.
most situations,
energy.
it's just straight transactional. And anyway, so this was just meant for us. It was, you know, just right up the road. It really worked out. But we did go and see a couple trucks.
Yeah.
Okay. And LOL. We went to, I can't even remember where it was, but
Savannah,
Tennessee.
Ooh.
Okay. Didn't even know it existed. Okay.
Best part about that trip is Catfish House.
We went to a
yeah.
catfish house.
Out in
Yeah.
the middle of nowhere. They have a
sounds
Catfish
awesome.
House.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that.
Or we won't. We just,
I think
you
we
said
did
it.
We just did it.
We just did
We
it.
got to it.
We got to it.
But we go and we see this, and the guy, I mean, they were so nice, but it was a snow cone. A snow cone thing, and it was all painted and it matched my shoes, and I was just like, oh, maybe this is it.
It's
you know,
what you
Fine.
expect. It's what you expect. It's the pink and the
Yeah,
yellow
yeah, yeah.
stripes and all the
it's
stickers.
very predictable
Yeah.
ice cream truck, or you know, soft, whatever.
Snow cone.
Snow cone. Thank you. But okay, it was so funny. He's like, so yeah, y'all just let me make you a snow cone. I'll just make you one right now. You know, he's so nice. And then he was like, but I'm going to sweeten the deal, and I'm going to throw in a nacho cheese warmer
And the popcorn maker.
and the popcorn
This is
maker.
the world you guys are getting into.
Yeah.
I'm like,
We sweeten
oh
the pot
dear.
a little
Yeah.
bit.
And then we get in there. It's like, see, these are the magnets, and it just says popcorn on it. So when you're selling popcorn, you just stick it on the outside.
Brilliant.
Now they know.
Yeah.
Genius.
I mean,
This is a good system.
boy. So
Yeah.
we have seen quite a few trucks. There was also a truck in Nashville that we saw that was huge. And I'm thinking, how in the world am I going to drive? I could barely drive my minivan, you know, I mean, halfway decently. And
It's
this
like
is
a
a
UPS,
big truck.
It's a UPS truck.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
huge, you know, and you got all this equipment in the back. Again, it's your entire business,
Yeah.
your livelihood there.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of pressure. So
Yeah.
anyway, we have this little, I don't know, 18 foot, what is it?
No, I don't
12
even- I
foot?
don't- It's like
We don't
12
even
foot.
know.
It's not, I mean, it's about the size of my Jeep, except taller.
Yeah.
So it's
so
cool.
it's legitimately a box.
Yeah.
So we love that.
Do you guys,
but
can you guys park it at your place? Or do,
no.
Well, so we have an idea. I mean, we didn't think through some of these ideas, but again, hooking up with this dude,
Yep.
and he started this tap truck, and he's got his friend owns the tap business in Nashville, and he's
Yep.
like, "Hey, the best idea, and what I like to do is, you know, you can rent out a space. We have a little warehouse here in Nashville that we, you know, you can
Store
park it,
them.
store
Yeah.
them. Every time you have an event, we pick it up with our we flatbed
Deliver
it. We deliver it essentially. We flatbed it straight to the event, and then you can drive it and park it wherever you need to.
Amazing.
He says instead of driving it up on the road, he's like 67. Like there weren't highways. Like
Right.
you're kind of a vehicle that wasn't designed to go on a highway.
Yeah.
And he said, so like protect your asset. Like just keep the engine going, but like you know long distance or any
Yeah.
kind of distance, just get it delivered and then put that into your lump cost.
Yeah.
was
So
cool.
there's some logistics
thoughts.
that have to
Yeah.
be, you know, put together. But anyway, so so we have the truck and it should be ready this summer. We're not sure.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's coming. But anyway, so big hurdles have been have been overcome, and we're looking forward to it. So,
well, a little bit on it too is that it wasn't just as easy as like, hey, there's a truck, let's go. I mean, we had to weigh a lot of those options, as in like, again, are we getting a fully stock truck or getting a truck that what's our best fit here? And we just had to make a decision and pull it and go.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was a scary thing to do. And we're still kind of in that. Yeah. But I mean, we made the decision and now we're living with it and we're kind of going down that path. So again, it goes back into the business, thought process, kind of what we were into, and just thinking like, just got to be decisive on it. Just stick a path and go.
Well, and not in a careless way, and that's, I think we made that very clear over this, podcast that we think through things, and we know what, we have discernment in certain areas. In some areas we just don't know. We kind of just go with our gut, and so
go with our God.
Hey.
That's a new shirt.
Nice.
I could tell you where to get it made. Got $100.
Okay. Yeah, really.
Yeah.
So lots of momentum, lots of exciting things. But what I really want to talk about is Eli. I really want to talk about Eli.
Oh boy.
Because
just do that behind my back, guys.
Well, we do.
We're doing it publicly.
Now we're doing it. So
Come out of the open.
Well, no, it's just the momentum here, and I think again, it's like birds of a feather flock together, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like just us being around each other, there's energy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I mean, I feed off of Eli, and I feed off what you're doing and how it's going, and I hope you feel the same for us. But
100%.
Through that momentum, I think this is a good testament of like what you surround yourself with, what you put in is what you get out. All those things are so true.
Well, and also creating space to discuss what it is you want to do or what, this is a luxury. I mean, don't hear us saying that this is, work at all. This is a luxury. But it also is a sacrifice, right?
It's work too.
What are you working on? I'm talking about this conversation. Like,
I'm
talking about creating space to talk about what it is that you want to achieve.
Yeah.
And that's what we've had to do here. And you've kind of fed into that a lot for us. So anyway, talk about what you got going on.
Well, I do podcasts.
Really good ones.
Yeah. No, so essentially, I guess, everyone knows that listens to this, do a podcast thing. But so we talked off air. Have we talked about this on air at all?
I don't think so.
Let's go ahead and bust it open. Right?
Bust it
Let's do
open.
it. So we talked a few episodes ago, off the episode, about like looking for space and that whole idea of it's hard to find retail space, right? And like you guys need it, I need it. You guys have a truck, I have a garage.
Right.
By the way, we're in a garage right now.
Oh man, we just exposed it.
Oh no!
But very nice.
Yeah, it's not a garage. Like
Hey, we have a garage too.
Yeah.
A lot of music has been made in studio garages.
Yeah, no, it's legit. Like people come in, they're like, okay, this is a studio.
Right.
But anyway, so we were like, what would that look like? And so I was like, kind of like in my head, it was like, man, like having like a ice cream shop next to a podcast place, like playing with names, and Podcast Parlor came to mind. And I was like, you guys were like, oh yeah, and
brilliant,
like, dude, this is sweet.
Yeah.
And so I guess just over the weeks, months, we've talked about it a lot, and I've thought about it a lot, and then just through some events, I was kind of forced into it. So I had a client that went to another podcast place,
right?
And that was like the fuel of like, all right, we're not going to wait till we get the space. We're going to start this name now. So, So yeah, we launched. And you guys have been so encouraging in that.
Well, I mean, because just like Jason said, I feel like we kind of feed off that momentum too. But also, like, this is what I think we felt too, is when you have an idea but you see somebody else doing it, or you have the thought, if somebody else did this before me, I'm going to be ticked. Right.
Yep.
And so that there is nothing that gets you more motivated than that. I feel like, at least for me. Right.
Yep.
And then obviously, having a client, you know, that is like, obviously I'm not doing something.
Right. There's something that was missing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Not to, take that in a negative way, but using that as, forward momentum. But
I just heard someone kind of talking something similar to this, and they were actually, I overheard someone talking to someone else. I guess birds of a feather flock together. Here we go. No, anyways, they were talking about how I don't know who was on the other side of the line, but I guess they were struggling, and this person was saying like, hey, you're working out that muscle in your brain. Mm-hmm. Like if you keep doing something and you feel like you never achieve it.
Right.
And eventually you're really just going to wear it out.
Right.
And you're going to get tired of it. You got to like jump. You got to just make that crazy decision. You got to do something different. You got to just get into it and then just kind of do your fillers as you go.
Yep.
Because it's never going to be perfect as you do it.
Right.
And if you stay on the same path of just like, well, it's got to be perfect and never going to get it right. Like if you just stay on that same path, again, you're going to burn yourself out.
Right.
And then at the end of the day, and you're on your deathbed, you're like, I wish I would have done it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, that's great. I mean, you jumped.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, you've already kind of jumped, but now you really jumped.
Yeah, yeah. So like, there's that like whole process of like, let's get this thing going. And then since we kind of met about that and really started to put things on paper, I've just had a lot of really great connection of people like this doesn't exist in Nashville. There's nobody doing this.
Like affirmation. That,
yeah. Of like one guy was like, your ocean is blue and Hetty, like there's nothing out there like this. So I was like, that's awesome. So so just go for it, I guess.
So don't release this until you get it.
Yeah. Bleep all of that out.
Just secured it all.
Someone driving in the car, listen.
That also too though. Okay, so I had this thought. So there's something to be said about entrepreneurs, and like creating something from scratch. There's a lot of just diligence that comes with that, but also like you can't let it go.
Right.
There's something in us that like we knew there was a discontentment maybe, or just feeling like we hadn't totally reached our full potential with whatever it is that we were working on. But so I thought about this the other day, and so like a kid, right? We have 1 million. And when they're babies, you give them a toy, right? And that has all the lights and it has all the bells and whistles on them, or a cardboard box.
Yep.
And which one do they end up playing with? The box. And that's so frustrating as for a parent, right? You're like, why are you playing with this when you could play with this? But I think it's because we all really were made to create.
Right.
In our like no inhibitions, no like, as a child, you see that there are more possibilities with the box.
Yeah.
It's not limited, right? The toy is limited. And so I think about that with entrepreneurs, but also not even just entrepreneurs, but people who, find hope in things that they don't know where it's going to end, because like they just want to find out, So I think there's a lot to be said for something when you create from scratch, that really is something natural in all of us. But you better do it fast before someone.
Don't miss out.
But
what
also
if I do
like,
it? Huh? What if I do it?
You do it. I'll do ice cream.
Oh, there we go. No, I couldn't do it. I wouldn't. I mean, I don't even have like a Polaroid.
Well, there was something that we talked about in one of those meetings. It was what is going to happen if you don't do it?
Right.
Feeling that urgency of, okay, if I don't do this, what will happen?
Yeah.
Because you kind of sort of rest on the fact, and we did this for a long time, we rested on the fact that, we'll do it.
Right.
We'll get there.
Right.
But what are you doing to make sure that happens?
Right.
And we've said this on this podcast before too. You're never going to be as motivated as you are now because you get older, you get more excuses, and
you get more tired.
You get
of doing it. Like my example.
Is that what you were trying to say earlier?
I said it very clearly. God.
I'm just kidding.
Push the like button if you heard me.
No, that's super exciting, but also a podcast network.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah,
okay. Which is
that's on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the parlor idea of it is like the get that going, like the brick and mortar part of it.
Okay.
And that house had like other ideas based on like I worked with a photography company that they did. They pretty much hire people to do all the aspects of it. So like shoot it, edit it, promote it. Like it was real estate.
Okay.
I was like, man, I could like build a network of people that like are editing this thing.
Brilliant.
I don't know. There's all these ideas. So
right. Well, don't you also feel like, okay, so with if you sort of have in your mind like the phased approach.
Yeah.
Like if I do this first, then this could be the platform for this and this and this.
Yep.
That's sort of how we look at this also.
Yeah.
We also though, okay, this is not a book review podcast, okay, but this is a resources podcast.
Yeah.
So I'm reading this book and I owe it to you, but I've been listening to it, but then I got it in the mail and I was supposed to give it to you, Eli.
Yeah.
But I was like flipping through it. I was like, man, maybe I need to read the words. Let me just. So it's coming.
fine.
Okay. I'm making sure
I'll
it's
do
just
the book
like
on tape or audio.
Audible.
Yeah.
But so it's called Burn the Boats. It's a really, really, really good book. But anyway, it was he was talking about he had to be at peace because he's an entrepreneur, just mind turning all the time. He had to be at peace with being misunderstood for a little while, until his vision came to life. Because there are some people who don't have not embraced this creative side of their mind, and so when we present ideas or when we talk about ideas to them, we sort of lose a little credibility because they can't see it yet, And I think that we've lived that, people, we have to be at peace with being misunderstood until it comes to fruition and people are like, oh, well, duh,
It's like telling people your baby's name before the baby's born.
Right.
It's like, oh, we named it Johnny B. And they're like, Johnny B. Then you start guessing it, second guessing it. And you're like, Johnny B? Is that
That's
really
right. Hey, that's a really good.
Why are you so surprised?
That's a really good one.
Finally,
I am really good. And I didn't even read Burn the Boats.
Wow. Burning
well, you
some boats
should
right now.
because, yeah, seriously. It's a really good book. But exactly. It's people, they just kind of go along with it, when they can see it, touch it, feel it. It's not as conceptual. Because to them, it is meaningless until it becomes something that is meaningful. Speaking of,
and their 2 cents don't matter.
Well, that's true. Well, we also talked about this too. Having people around you that don't just support you, but they really do encourage you. I think that's really important because sometimes you just need to hear that like positive reinforcement,
Johnny B is a good name. See, and then you walk away from that like, that is a good name. See, they like it.
I like to have in my mind, I want to be the CEO of my life, or have CEOs in my life, chief encouragement officers.
Where'd you get that?
I made it up.
That sounds like something Jason
I'm
would
really
say.
smart.
No, you did.
I did. You don't believe it because it's that good.
So no, I used to be a banquet chef for a while, and we had BEOs. If you know what a BEO is, it's a banquet event order. Okay, and that's kind of pretty much how catering events or big hotels run off events. And so, like essentially, like it's a piece of paper with all the information, the client's name, what time it starts, all the food, blah, and everybody reads off of it. And we would always we created this slogan like internally because we're having trouble with people like owning their events. So we're like, hey. Or I want you to think of this like you're the CEO of your BEO.
Nice.
Yeah, see? It was good. It got
Definitely not going to cut that out.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just going to leave.
You are just bringing the content today, baby.
Well, you need to sit back and just make smart comments?
It's so great. You give us so many sizzle reels or what do you call
clips.
them? Clips, yeah. I like to call them sizzle reels, but I don't think anybody calls them that anymore.
Nah.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
The teasers.
I saw it real life.
But yeah, so Burn the Boats. There's no backup plan.
Yeah.
Like there's no backup plan here. There's no plan B. This is what we're moving forward and being confident in that,
Yeah.
And so, and other opportunities come up, and it just kind of, God has really prepared the way. We just have to trust enough in ourselves and also believe in what it is that we're trying to do. So,
I mean, some like buying the truck the other day. I'm sorry, it's a little later in the day than I'm used to talking, so like my brain's a little slower. Okay, like buying the truck.
Seems the same as every other time.
I know you're just right on track.
Do y'all plan this? Do y'all like text each other?
I brought him over to my team, and I'm feeling kind of guilty about it.
I don't know what's in this drink.
Oh man!
Oh yeah! Shout out our drink sponsor. We officially have a drink sponsor now.
That's
it's called
legit.
Zen Turmeric Wellness. Check them out on Instagram. They are a really, really cool brand. More on them later. But what were we saying?
I forgot. and apparently it doesn't matter. So either way.
When you were buying the truck a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I still forgot. I mean, I remember that part. I guess it's the fear that I was talking about. And you just like, the reason we moved to Nashville was like, I'd much rather just say that we moved and we tried and failed opposed to we didn't even try at all, you know? And so like, even when buying that truck, I was like, well, I don't know the right decision. I'm just going to do it because it's in front of me. I made the decision. If we fail at it, at least I tried, you know, and I can say that, you know, that route doesn't go.
Right.
So if I ever have this opportunity again, I'll got a different truck. But
right. I think, and also it wasn't an impulsive thing. We had been looking, we had looked at alternatives. It wasn't the first thing that we saw. It wasn't the most glamorous one. It wasn't, you know, it checked the boxes that we need to, but it still had some, you know, we have some things to work out, you know.
She's glamorous. She's a beauty.
So it wasn't impulsive. So there's, you know, not just jump in, but, you know, have some things that, you know, help you make that decision. You know, people in your life who are encouraging you, but also,
I guess I was saying try and fail.
for sure.
I mean, I'd much rather, you know, try that I have to burn the boats than just like keeping the boats docked, right?
Well, yeah, I agree. Yeah. So I think also I should probably mention this. Probably, if you're just tuning in, I have not officially
tuned out.
I haven't not officially announced this, but at the beginning of this season, we talked about me getting my real estate license and doing that, and how that was really important to keep going through and doing. But I did have to make a decision whether or not I was going to put all efforts into ice cream or all efforts into real estate, because at that point, this was earlier this year, I had to make that decision, you know, whether or not we were going to put full force into Lightbox or, because it's starting two businesses at once is not ideal.
Yeah.
So, but real estate was the more glamorous, I guess you could say, not glamorous, maybe.
It was before it wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
the illusion is that
right.
it is glamorous and it is very rewarding. And I know it is, and I know it will be at some point. But that wasn't the path for me when I, you know, started. And that was how it was meant to be for me.
Yep.
So I did have to officially lay that part of my career down to focus on this. And, you know, the time and effort and money that we had already put into this was really what kind of helped me make that decision. Although it was a very challenging thing, because this was still conceptual at that point, you know? We didn't have any of this really developed when I had to make that decision.
But
this
to kind of even add a little more layer to my cake I was just talking about, right?
Okay.
Is that, like, I'm glad you tried.
Yeah,
Because if you didn't, you were going to like, well, what if I
could just do real estate. I'll just make some money.
I could have been a
I'll
real
just do
estate.
it. Yeah.
So at least you did. You got into it. You started it.
Right.
I mean, and so like, I mean, I'm so much rather if you've been in this situation than you're not even trying at all.
Yeah.
Because it's still going to be in the back of your mind.
Right. And yeah, exactly. So, so I had to burn that boat, you know?
That's right. I had to skin that knee.
Yeah.
How many more analogies can I come up with? I had to layer that cake.
Okay. So for next steps, okay, where we are, we got to pull this event off on Saturday. So, you know, we had talked about last episode, or the one that just aired, about our flavors and how it was feelings to flavors and, you know, very ambiguous. And so we had sent over to the client the flavors of the soft serve that we're doing on Saturday.
We sent our feelings.
And they wrote back, do you mean vanilla?
Like, no, we don't need vanilla. So hey, we've got a little bit of we got a little mountain to climb here.
Yeah.
It's okay. We're prepared for it.
It's fine.
So,
that's right. And so that's what our brand isn't built on that, right?
Yeah.
But it was our first little thing of like, okay, ugly baby, maybe, right?
well, it's like when BlackBerry came out. You remember the cell phones?
Yep.
Yeah, like the guys introduced it. They're like, yeah, I think about we're going to have a phone that you can also email and text. And people were like, what? Like they didn't believe them. They didn't get it, you know? So it was, they had to pave the way. So we're paving the way, right? Like BlackBerry phones,
guys
we're
are-
paving
yeah.
the way.
Yeah.
We're paving the way for
guys-
ice cream flavors.
Now,
Yes,
let's
as
say
the BlackBerry of the ice cream industry.
Well, no, BlackBerry today is like non-existent.
Yeah,
Well,
true. You don't do that.
It is basically dead.
So fun fact, they owned, I think it was like 70% of all cell phones. Like
Yeah.
everybody owned 70%
Right,
of everybody that
yeah.
owned a cell phone owned a BlackBerry.
Yep.
Today, 0 people own a BlackBerry
Yeah.
phone. So kind of fun fact.
Well, that's kind of a sad fact, actually.
Poor BlackBerry.
I think it's kind of fun.
Well, you were saying that they paved the way and they were pioneers, and
Yeah.
now they're
gone.
now they're dead. But
Hey,
Appreciate that.
Well, we've got at least
Yeah.
they tried.
That's right. They're not sitting there regretting not trying.
They burned the phones.
Yeah.
That's right.
A burner phone.
oh man, I sure do love you.
That's right.
But exactly what you said, that there is a mountain to climb. Not really even a mountain. It's whatever. We're not tied to that. It doesn't have to be like that. Again, just start the ice cream and then you can figure that other
Yeah.
stuff out later, so just, and we also can't be, I think in previous careers or roles or whatever, I would have been really, you're protective of what you're creative
Yeah.
of, or what you create. And it's just like, it doesn't matter. Yeah. If you want to put vanilla on there, that's fine.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah. It's good.
But it's not vanilla. we're not. I mean, for real, we're not vanilla.
Well, I know that, but it wasn't a fight that I was going to
Yeah.
have,
It's not-
you know.
So you mean we're not doing totes my goats?
That's a definite no.
Dude.
But we might have goat milk soft serve at some point because
cool.
we got to do it for Eli.
For me.
And what are,
Yeah.
I have to. Please don't.
so what would the feeling that's associated with it? What would we call it?
Childhood.
Yeah, child trauma.
Child trauma. Tastes like goat's milk ice cream.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so next episode we will report back on the event. We also have another event scheduled.
y'all.
So that is a Lightbox soft serve event as well. We will not have the truck by then.
Wait, let's talk about something I'm a little amazed by. So we're doing this event for maybe I shouldn't do this, but I'm going to do it.
Don't say the client name.
No.
Oh, okay.
I care about the client name.
Oh.
But no, I mean, the client has a name, right? I mean, some people know the name, some people don't. But the name's so big, it's just like, well, you know what? I want to throw a party for my 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old,
It's actually a 1-year-old.
1-year-old. But I want it lavish. I want all this stuff, and I want pizza, and I want that and this. But I'm not paying for any of it. I'm just going to tell you on my social media that you came to my house and you did it. And that's good enough, right?
Look at the dummies doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
yeah.
for us, it's our first piece. So I mean, I get it, but like,
There is something to be said for trade.
Yeah.
Do you do trade much?
Yes. I like Liz.
okay,
She's come
let's-
around
hey,
to it because she's seen the fruit of it.
Okay.
But
cut that out.
I was teaming up again. Yeah, but I think there's been so many times that I've done things on not, it wasn't even necessarily out of trade. It's more out of hey, let me do you a favor.
Oh, okay.
And then from that comes something way cooler.
Got
So,
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The fruit of that. I love that you say it like that because that's true. And yes, I mean, for us, it really is an opportunity to get ourselves together. Again, I love a deadline.
Yeah.
I love to know, okay, we got to make this happen. We would have never been this far along had we not put it on the schedule. So for me, it's take it or leave it. But it's more for us to say, okay, this is how we are gonna, present ourselves. So. So I think trade is important. I think we, going forward, when we have a truck and we have actual assets, it will be more of a, let's see how this is an even trade
Right.
more than
Right.
just,
We'll do whatever
we'll
we
do
can
whatever
just
we'll,
to get out
just
there.
to get it. Yeah, exactly. So
Paid the old exposure bucks.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and in the service industry too, you want to serve.
Yep.
You want to be known as that. And that's, very much fundamental to our brand. But
Yeah.
also so is staying in business.
Good part of the
That's
brand.
important.
BlackBerry.
So BlackBerry,
BlackBerry
I
it
knew
out.
I knew it.
BlackBerry. Actually, I think they're still in business.
Are they?
Yeah,
Let me look
but
at
they're just not doing phones.
Of course,
looking it
those
up.
guys from BlackBerry. Yes, the one
No,
guy
those
that
guys-
I talked about.
Those guys aren't involved. It's a whole nother group
Oh,
of people.
okay. But the guys who invented BlackBerry, I'm sure they work at Microsoft or Google or something.
No,
So,
they're doing well.
Yeah,
They're happy
yeah.
with where they're
right.
at.
It's full life for sure.
It's a software company now.
Yeah. Okay.
A soccer company.
Software.
Software. That's just soccer. I was like, that took a way turn.
Yeah.
But it's just like barbecue and
foot rubs or
Come
whatever.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Why
like
every episode?
you gotta. We do McDonald's every episode. I mean, why did they get credit? So I mean, like they got to get a little. You
Literally.
got to pivot.
Yeah.
So they pivot to soccer.
This is,
You know-
what you're going to say is so much better than what I'm going to say.
It's not.
No, it is.
I'm just saying that like you do bring it up on every episode and it like I'm just like, can we stop with that? But
Yeah.
maybe it entices people to like go back and listen to the
That's
episode
true.
and like
Yeah.
where's he getting this?
Let me start from the beginning.
And let me just go back to the
Have they
to
been
the
screwing
front.
up the ends on this the whole
I
time?
want to find the first time he mentions barbecue and foot rub.
Yeah. Find it, tag
That's
it.
right. That's right.
Find it, tag it, comment below.
I'd like a Medi Petty with the white Alabama barbecue sauce, please.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, so stay tuned to how this develops. The podcast parlor coming at you.
Yeah.
Follow
Like,
the podcast
subscribe.
parlor.
Yep. Yeah.
Yes.
Instagram.
Instagram.
Follow Lightbox.
Follow Lightbox Nash.
There
Yeah.
we go.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. We're out.
Awesome. Thanks. Bye.
Best one yet.